Hey everyone, George here. And today I want to talk about the absolutely bizarre but delightful 1998 sci-fi classic Dark City, directed by Alex Proyas. It's a movie starring Kiefer Sutherland, Jennifer Connelly, Rufus Sewell, and William Hurt. By the way, spoiler warnings, I am going to spoil everything. And it is such a delightful film that I think you should stop this video and go watch it first. Then come back, sit down, hit play, and hear what I have to say. So the 1998 film Dark City opens up with John Murdoch, a man not knowing who he is, where he's from. He has no recollection of anything. He wakes up in a tub in a seedy hotel, and he finds himself in this very 1940s neo-noir, gritty, dirty, dark city. And he gets a phone call from a scientist played by Kiefer Sutherland telling him, "You need to get out of there. You're in this room. You need to escape because people are coming after you. There was an experiment and you woke up and you weren't supposed to, so you gotta go." In this movie, he's trying to figure out who he is. He comes to learn that at the stroke of midnight, every night, the city shuts down. Everyone in that city falls asleep, passes out, everything stops, and these aliens, these creatures, these bald, pale creatures come through the city and replace people's memories, put brand new memories, and actually reshape the city. They're basically reshaping the city. Buildings come out of nowhere. They rise from the floor. Buildings move left and right and all around. Some disappear and some come up. And they basically build a new life for a lot of these citizens. It comes out that they are a dying species, and they came to Earth and took these people and put them in this artificial city to study them because they are a dying alien race. They're trying to figure out how to... It's not exactly explained how they're dying, but apparently they think humanity holds the key. So they take the people, they put them in this artificial city, which is basically like this flat Earth kind of model. Basically, they're like, it's this spaceship with this force field around it, and there's just a city on this disc in space. It's kind of crazy looking. And so basically, that is revealed. John Murdoch has these special powers. It's not fully explained why he has these powers, but he has these powers, and he has this crazy mental telekinetic battle with the aliens. He wins and reshapes the city in his own liking, and actually moves the city with his brain, which is I guess a spaceship. He moves the city with his brain to face the sun, and now the city is no longer dark city. There is now sunlight in this city. The end. Okay, so when you watch this movie, you will wonder why these aliens captured these people in the first place, why they came to Earth, captured humans, put them in this weird artificial disc, floating disc city in space. And to understand that, you need to first talk about who John Murdoch is, or at least the memory that was implanted in his brain at the beginning of the movie. So he wakes up with no recollection of who he is. Basically, they put him in a scenario. They put this fake memory in his brain where he was a serial killer going around killing people because his wife cheated on him. His wife is played by Jennifer Connelly. Her name is Emma in the movie. They are constantly putting people in different scenarios to see how they react. So these aliens are very mechanical. They are like a hive mind. They are they all think the same. All their brains are connected. And humans don't think that way. Humans think with their heart. They kind of drive that message into you in the movie. And the reason why I bring up the whole storyline with the wife, which actually plays a big part in the movie, is throughout the movie, and he's going through his adventure in this dark city, his wife ends up learning what reality is. And the reality is that every night they all are put to sleep and they're given new memories. So this memory of her being his wife and cheating on him is not real. It's all fabricated. And so they have this conversation where they were never married and they don't really know each other, but she has this attraction to him. She has this emotion toward him. And there's this conversation. He's like, yeah, I think I know what that is. And so basically it leads you to believe that what they were looking for was the human heart. Because she managed to fall in love with a person she has no idea. She didn't need some fake memory to fall in love with this man. So, as I said earlier, the movie opens up with John Murdoch waking up not knowing who he is, where he's from, not knowing a damn thing about himself. He is not the only person in the movie that did that. There was a detective that was on the case, originally, the John Murdoch case, that woke up in the middle of it as well, and he went a little crazy. He basically, oh, wow. I just realized something here. I think the screenwriter is into conspiracy theories because he basically realizes everything's fake. It's almost like everyone's living in a simulation. So he woke up. So this detective woke up. He told the story to John Murdoch that he also woke up during the procedure. So because of that, he was able to see everything that happened. He sees that the world is fabricated, that cities are rising out of nowhere, and that these aliens come and change people's memories around. So he realized the life he was living was fake. He realized the city he's living in is not a real city. They are not on Earth. So it's almost like simulation theory. He traveled all over the city to try to get out of the city. He could not escape the city. There is no way of escaping that city. He tells John Murdoch this. And there's something else I'll cover a little later with this movie, but I think the screenwriter is really into conspiracy theories because what the detective was explaining is basically simulation theory. He woke up, realized everything's fabricated, he tried escaping, he is incapable of escaping this city. So anyway, I digress. This detective also woke up, explained everything to John Murdoch, and he goes on a quest trying to get out of the city as well and try to figure out what's going on. Someone I did not really mention is there is a human doctor that works for the aliens, played by Kiefer Sutherland. This doctor is the one that makes these memories, these falsified memories, and injects them into the people's brains every night. So he makes brand new lives for everyone. And it's revealed later in the movie that he was forced to do that. He obviously doesn't enjoy doing this. He views this as someone who betrayed his own people, his own race. He basically was captured and forced to erase his own memories. And now he was basically a slave to these aliens. And every night he has to make these new memories, and every night he has to go around and inject new memories in, and then and all of humanity in this city is studied by the aliens, and also the doctor played by Kiefer Sutherland. Another thing is Kiefer Sutherland's character, the doctor, like I said, he is forced to betray his own people. The aliens force him to betray the human race and work for them, work for the aliens. This doctor, played by Kiefer Sutherland, is actually an integral part in helping John Murdoch, in defeating the aliens. He basically plants all the information, by the end of the movie, he plants all the information John Murdoch needs to defeat the aliens. He makes a syringe, because all the memories are in these syringes. He makes this falsified memory explaining to John Murdoch what he needs to do and how to defeat these aliens. And so this doctor is a key player in the movie in bringing down the aliens. Another thing is, throughout the movie, John Murdoch keeps having flashbacks of a childhood memory, which is incredibly jarring imagery compared to Dark City. He remembers a bright blue beach, beautiful blue water, beautiful white sands, and he remembers himself as a boy standing on that beach. Shell Beach, to be exact. It's called Shell Beach in the movie. He goes on a quest to search for Shell Beach. Him incapable of getting out of the city and getting to Shell Beach is really what starts chipping away at the illusion that this city is a real city, that you're actually on Earth. He realizes he cannot escape the city. This is when he encounters that detective. The detective tells him he can't escape the city. John Murdoch goes all over the city trying to get out of there. He is trying to get to Shell Beach. Everyone in that city has a memory of Shell Beach, yet people can't exactly remember how to get to Shell Beach. It's just this implanted memory to give people this illusion that there is more to the world outside of Dark City, outside of this dark city. And so when the detective and John Murdoch, the detective played by William Hurt, when John Murdoch and the detective go to the very edge of the city, what they do is they find this wall that has this billboard on it, like an advertisement for Shell Beach. And he decides to break apart this wall. When they break this wall, it is revealed that they are actually on a spaceship. They're floating in outer space. It's very crazy. It's a little fantastical, but so they break open the wall and they just see space out there, the void of space. It's at this point that it's revealed that they are actually on a disk in space. So kind of like crazy, like a flat Earth theory. They're on a disk, floating in space. There's a city on it. This is the city they live in, and there's a force field around it. So this is what I'm saying, where like I feel like the screenwriter was really into conspiracy theories because he plays around with the simulation theory and he also plays around with flat Earth theory. So it turns out they're on like what looks like a flat Earth, but it's just a city on a disk, surrounded by a force field, floating in outer space. And it's revealed that the aliens don't like light. So this disk is facing away from the sun. We assume it's the sun, so that means if it is the sun, that means they're actually in the solar system, which means they're not too far from Earth. They're near wherever the closest star is. The city is like tilted away from that star, so it's a city in darkness. Hence the name Dark City. Yes, it's a very ambiguous, like how this alien race is dying, and like what they're looking for. But basically the aliens were looking for the human soul. And by the end of the movie, it is revealed where the human soul is, what the human soul is. Yes, this movie's bold enough to state what the human soul is. So this main character, John Murdoch, has a wife named Emma, played by Jennifer Connelly. As the movie plays out, she comes to understand that they are all living a fake life and that her memory of being married to John Murdoch is false. And toward the end of the movie, they have this conversation. In this conversation, it's accepted that the memories they have of each other are fake. The memory that Emma has of John Murdoch is false, yet the feelings she has for him are real. He does the same. They both acknowledge they both have feelings for each other, even though this memory of their marriage is fake. The memory is fake, the feeling is real. This is important. The feeling is real, the memory is fake. The memory is what's implanted in their brain from these robotic-like aliens, and the feeling of love and affection towards another person, the very human emotion, is real. So what happens is in the last act of the movie, I believe like shortly after that scene, she gets captured. She has her memory removed. She is no longer Emma. She is now Anna. Anyway, so the giant battle at the end happens where he's like using his brain, fighting the other leader with his brain. It's kind of like Scanners, only like a bigger budget of Scanners, and they're like flying through the air and like thinking really hard at each other. John Murdoch succeeds. He wins. He defeats the aliens. He talks to Kiefer Sutherland's character, the Doctor, And he finds out that Emma had her memory erased, and it's too late. She is no longer Emma. She is now Anna. And what happens is he wins. He shapes the world in his own way, where he basically he pumps all this water out, and he makes a shell beach surrounding the city. So he builds a shell beach around the dark city, which is no longer dark because he turns the city toward the sun. And he learns that Emma is now Anna and does not remember. Everything you saw in that movie up until that point, she does not remember. That memory is completely gone. And he goes to Shell Beach. And when he's about to go to Shell Beach, he encounters an alien, one of the main bad guys in the movie. Basically, there was an alien in the movie that had John Murdoch's memories imprinted in his brain to help combat John Murdoch, because they needed to figure out where John Murdoch was going to go. They had difficulty understanding where he would go because to them, humans are erratic. They don't think logically. They think with emotion. And so the key to finding John Murdoch was to implant John Murdoch's memories into one of the aliens' minds. And so because of that, he became like one of the main bad guys in the movie, and he was tracking John Murdoch down. He shows up before John Murdoch goes through the door and enters Shell Beach. He shows up, and he's like, "Our race is dying, John." Yeah, he was like, I don't understand. We just wanted to find the human soul. He doesn't say it word for word like that, but basically that's what he says. And John Murdoch says, "You were looking in the wrong place. The soul is not up here." And then he just walks away and goes to Shell Beach. This obviously implies that the human soul is in the heart. It's not up here. You can change our memories. You can brainwash a person. You can do whatever you want to their brain, but you can't affect their heart because their soul's not up here. Their soul is down here in the heart. He goes to Shell Beach. He's standing there on the boardwalk, looking out on the ocean, very similar to what his imprinted memory is of this like beautiful blue water, this bright blue sky. And he sees Anna standing there. They talk, and he asks, "Is this Shell Beach?" And she's like, "I believe it's over there." And she was like, "Oh." And then they both have a moment and talk, and they both agree to go walk, because they were both heading there. They both walk off together towards Shell Beach. And it's implied that love conquers all. That no matter what the falsified memories are put in their brains, that their emotions are real, that the love in their heart, that's what makes them human, that the human soul is right here. And that is all real. Everything up here, you can do whatever you want. You can brainwash people. You can remove their memories, put in new memories. That won't do anything because that's not where the human soul is. It's not up here. The human soul is in the heart. And that is the message of the movie. Yeah, so you feel like you're a rat in a maze because the camera's tight, the story is tight, there's not a lot of excess fat. It can get a little messy and a little hard to follow at times, but all in all, it's a very tight, straightforward story, which is something that movies today get wrong, honestly. Not every movie. There's a lot of great cinema out there right now, but I feel like there are a lot of films that are plagued with trying to tell too much in a short window of time. This movie, even though it's not perfect, it keeps everything tight and you keep moving forward. It doesn't go every which direction like some movies today. It just keeps you moving forward. And that's why this movie is delightful. Even though it can be a little weird, like as you heard me talk about the story, it's a bit of an odd one. But at least it made sense. You know what's going on when you're watching the movie, and there's a little bit of a mystery and things unfold, and you just sit back and enjoy and watch it all unfold in front of you. I loved this movie. This movie did things that you don't really see in movies today. That is why I highly recommend Dark City, 1998's Dark City, directed by Alex Proyas. Go watch it. Bye.